Okay, so my microphone is broken again, and I was going to wait another month because it's going to be a month or two before I have the money to buy a really good microphone or something before doing a new video. But this needs to be responded to, and this is something that I normally don't get involved in. I normally don't talk about the politics that are sweeping through comics at this time, but Marvel just promoted a man for saying to the head writer of Captain America. They just gave him his own book as a reward for him just saying this. The the writer is something Coates. He has an insane name that I'm not gonna bother to learn because, well, he can't be bothered to learn the names of the people who to treat the people who responded to 9/11 and died there with respect. I can't be bothered to show the respect for this dirtbag to learn his name. And yeah, basically he blames everyone for oppressing black people, and he hates anyone who he's a virulent racist who hates all white people and wants them dead, and he especially wants anyone who works in any form of responder status to protect him dead. He is a and I betcha if he was ever attacked in public, he wouldn't turn the police away as oppressors. And if his house was on fire, he sure as heck wouldn't tell the fire department not to do anything about it. But here is what he had to say about 9/11 first responders. And this got him a promotion from Marvel. Marvel gave him a promotion. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about modern Marvel, this does. We arrived 2 months before September 11th, 2001. I suppose everyone who was in New York that day has a story. Here is mine. That evening, I stood on the roof of an apartment building with your mother, your Aunt Chenna, and her boyfriend, Jamal. So we were there on the roof, talking and taking in the sights. Great plumes of smoke covered Manhattan Island. Everyone knew someone who was missing. But looking out upon the ruins of America, my heart was cold. I had disasters of my own. The officer who killed Prince Jones, like all officers who regard us so warily, was the sword of the American citizenry. I would never consider any American citizen pure. I was out of sync with the city. I kept thinking about how Southern Manhattan had always been ground zero for us. They auctioned our bodies down there in that same devastated rightly named financial district. Yeah, and that was the gathering place, and that was also the gathering place for the emancipator for the emancipation movement. By the way, so you'd still be down on a plantation if it weren't for people in Manhattan. But of course, that doesn't fit your narrative, so you'll ignore that. Back to his article. And there was once a burial ground for the auctioned there. They built a department store over a part of it, and then tried to erect a government building over another part. Only a community of right-thinking black people stopped them. I had not formed any of this into a coherent theory, but I did know bin Laden was not the first man to bring terror to that section of the city. I never forgot that. Neither should you. In the days after I watched the ridiculous pageantry of flags, the machoism of firemen, and the overwrought slogan, "Damn it all, Prince John was dead," and hell upon those who tell us to be twice as good and shoot us no matter. Hell for ancestral fear that put black parents under terror, and hell upon those who shatter the holy vessel. So here he's saying that basically 9/11 was divine judgment, and he's calling for the deaths of more people because all Americans are guilty of what one officer did. Interesting that he doesn't say that he himself is guilty of all all crimes committed by black gangbangers, and there's always an excuse for black violence. I could see no difference between the officer who killed Prince John and the police who died, or the firefighters who died. They were not human to me, black, white, or whatever. They were the menace of nature. They were the fire, the comet, the storm which could, with no justification, shatter my body. So after he wrote that, Marvel decided to promote him to be in charge of Captain America, the comic. Well, Marvel showed where it stands. It hates 9/11 first responders and wants them dead. Otherwise, they wouldn't have promoted him. So they agree with this. So I tweeted at them, and I'm asking you to tweet at them. That I am done. I am not seeing another Marvel movie ever again. I am never reading another Marvel comic. I have been reading Marvel comics since I was 6. I am done with Marvel comics. I am done with Marvel films. And I tweeted that at them. And I have a movement going on that if you go to my Twitter account at Matt from the PAS1, that I have a photo up there of this quote, and I'm asking people to tweet it with the hashtag FireCoats to @Marvel. And that's what I'm doing, and I am done. I don't know about you, how you feel about it, if you're entitled to feel, but this is how I feel about it. This is unacceptable. We cannot allow this level of hatred to be rewarded in comics, or we are done, and we stand for nothing. But Marvel is rewarding him because they apparently agree with him and hate 9/11 first responders because they're all oppressors of black people, and all white people should die for their crimes. Interesting that they don't say all black people should die for any crimes black people committed, and they don't talk about the blacks in Africa being involved with the slave trade, who were involved with the slave trade and got rich off of it for a long time, but never mind. So that's just how I feel. I'm done. Once you go after 9/11 first responders, I am done with your company. You have an unacceptable level of professional conduct, and I am done. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.